All right. You ready? Yep. We call the special meeting of the Midtown Redevelopment Area Board to order. We'll have our roll call.
Mr. Lee? Here. Ms. Cato? Ms. Ford? Ms. Hurd? Here. Mr. Williams? Dr. Jameson?
Here.
Chairman Pruitt?
Here. Let us stand for our invocation, and Ms. Hurd, if you would lead us in our pledge. Invocation first.
Father in heaven, thank you for this afternoon. Thank you for this day. We're asking that you be with us in this meeting. Guide our lips, guide our voices, and let us do the things that we need to do in your name. Father in heaven, as we come this afternoon, we want all of us to remember the 50th anniversary of Dr. Martin Luther King, the dream that has still not come alive. We're asking you to bless us in your name, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We are glad to see Dr. Jameson back. We had a deep absence with her not here, and we are glad to see you back. Mr. McGee, we're glad you're back.
Thank you.
All right. And we are ready for action item DEV 213-064, site plan, Harrison Roads Memorial.
Good afternoon, Board. Charles Bryant, Redevelopment Project Manager, City of Daytona Beach. This is agenda item number 5, site plan DEV 2013-064, BCU, Harrison Rose Hall. This is a staff report. Date is August 22nd, 2013. The applicant is Mr. Parker Menchenberg, P.E. Parker Menchenberg and Associates Incorporated, on behalf of Bethune-Cookman University. The project is the Harrison Rose Hall, 28,373 square foot educational facility. The location is 641 Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune Boulevard. The request is board action. Review the proposed conditional use as required by Article 4, Section 7.2B of the Land Development Code. Review the proposed site plan as required by Article 4, Section 8.2C of the Land Development Code. And review the application pursuant to the appearance standards for the redevelopment area as required by Article 3, Section 5.1 of the Land Development Code. The board, with final approval, Midtown Redevelopment Board. Project description. The Bethune-Cookman University BCU Harrison Rose Hall is a proposed educational facility to be located on the BCU campus. The applicant is proposing to demolish a portion of the existing Harrison Rose Memorial Building and construct a new 4-story, 28,373 square foot building. The background: the Harrison Rose Hall project has been ongoing development review since June 2013. On August 13, 2013, the applicant presented a conceptual plan to the Midtown Redevelopment Area Board for review of an educational facility. During the concept review, the board did not raise any concern with the project. Site plan review, Article 4, Section 8.3 of the LEC. The reviewing body in reviewing the site plan shall consider whether the proposal is consistent with all applicable policies of the comprehensive plan and whether any conflict in policy would be created. Land use and compatibility. The site is designated schools on the city's future land use map. school designation allows for an area generally set aside for the location of sizable educational facilities, including public schools. The project is an education facility located on university campus. The educational facility is a compatible use with the campus buildings and surrounding institutional uses. Adjacent land use and zoning classifications. The North Residential Education Facility land use designation is level 2 residential, and the zoning is RA multifamily. To the south, retail training facility, commercial retail, BA business automotive. To the east, single family retail, level 2 residential commercial retail, RA multifamily, BA business automotive. And to the west, residential moving vehicle rental, level 2 residential commercial retail, R2 multifamily, BA business automotive. Zoning, the current zoning is RA multifamily. The purpose of residential district is to provide for orderly and compatible development of residential areas and to protect residential neighborhoods from commercial encroachment. Various single-family and multifamily districts are established to ensure compatibility with the districts and maintain and protect property values. The applicant is proposing to construct a 28,373 square foot education facility as part of the school Bethune-Cookman University campus. Schools are conditional use in the RA zoning district. Requirements for structures: the minimum lot width is 50 feet. The project is 950 feet. Note, Article 17, Section 2.141 frontage. The minimum lot depth is 100. The project is 1,450 feet. The minimum lot area is 10,000 square feet. The project is 1,662,250 square feet. Article 17, Section 2.141. The minimum lot coverage is 35%. This project is 19.24%. Front setbacks 25 feet. The project is 65 feet. Rear setback 34 feet. This project is 1,285 feet. The street side setback is 25 feet. This project is 450 feet. The building height, there's no requirement, but the building height on this particular building is 53 feet. Article 17, Section 2.141 schools requires that private schools in the RA zoning district meet the minimum yard and setback requirements of the T3 zoning district or the RA zoning district, when whichever is more restricted. The proposed project meets the conditional use requirements for a school in an RA district. The proposed building meets all setback requirements for a school. Site arrangement: the site plan proposes to locate the new 28,373 square foot education facility on a 1.204 acre project site within the school campus. The building is located adjacent to Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune Boulevard. An 8-space parking lot is located on the west side of the proposed building and is accessed from Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune Boulevard. The stormwater detention area is located to the north of the existing building. Parking and traffic flow: the required parking for the project has been reviewed on the basis of a campus parking plan. LDC requires 1,576 parking spaces for the campus. BCU currently has 1,814 parking spaces on the campus. The campus parking plan is attached. That was in your packet. The site plan provides for safe access for emergency vehicles and has been reviewed by the fire department. Requirement for parking lots: criteria: one space, 3 students doing maximum attendance required, 1,100. The project has 3,300 students. 1 space per employee, 476, and the is a note saying they have 475 employees. The site the landscaping plan complies with the requirements in the LDC. In your packet was a copy of the landscape plan that detailed the proposed landscape improvement. Stormwater drainage, the stormwater management plan complies with the requirement in the LDC. The project site is located within flood zone X according to the Federal Emergency Management Agency. Utilities, the project has adequate capacity. Design guidelines and requirements for redevelopment districts. The applicant has provided detailed architecture elevations. The following is a summary and staff response of the standard of Article 12, Section 2.1 of the Land Development Code. Project architecture, the building is a three-story brick building designed in a similar architecture style as the other campus buildings to ensure the building is compatible with surrounding campus buildings. The building has similar architecture to other buildings on the campus and designed to mimic the existing architecture on the BCU campus. Building scale, the building is 3 stories, which is similar to other buildings on the campus.
Say that again, Charles. How many stories?
Is it 3? 4. I'm sorry, you got 3. 4-story building. Okay. Building materials, the proposed building materials are of high quality, including brick as facade treatment. The building materials promote a sense of permanence. Recommendation, staff recommends that the Midtown Redevelopment Area Board approve the site plan for the project known as Harrison Rose Memorial Hall on the Bethune-Cookman University campus located at 641 Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune Boulevard, subject to the resolution of the outstanding technical review team comments. We do have the a representative from the architecture firm here today, Mr. Parker Menchenberg and Associates, and also we have a representative from Bethune-Cookman University. You have any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Bryant. And we missed you too. Come right on, sir. Any questions from anyone on the board for Mr. Bryant?
Just out of curiosity, what does overframing mean?
Overframe, we're going to use some of the frames of the existing front of the building to tie in with the new part of the building.
It's overframing?
Go right ahead.
Good afternoon. Steve Buswell with Parker Menchenberg and Associates. We're the project engineers and the landscape architects for the project. The architect is Mr. Rabitz, and Mr. Ross is here to answer any questions from the university side. First off, I'd like to thank everybody for scheduling this special meeting. It's kind of very important to the university, and I know they appreciate this special meeting to basically move the progress along. Charles, I want to thank you for making it happen and for the concise staff report. And again, I'm here to answer questions regarding the site and landscaping. And if there's any questions of Mr. Ross, I'm sure he'd be happy to answer, as well as say thank you for, again, moving this along, because time is very essential to this.
I have one question again. Will the side street still be open between the building and the registrar's office? Not the registrar's office, but the one-story building, if I'm following you correctly.
Irvin Ross from Bethune-Cookman Physical Plant Department. The building will sit on the exact footprint that is there now, so any easily or egress or egress will not be affected by the new construction.
As long as it's safe for them to drive through.
Well, we don't actually have a spot that you could actually drive through on either side of the building. We have sidewalks, and those won't be affected by the new construction.
Any other questions? I know Mr. McGee is still looking over. Okay. We'll
Another
wait for
one.
Ms. Ford to come in.
Another question. I read whereby some of the bricks, or most of the bricks will be preserved, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever thought about just giving the Midtown Board a brick
You certainly can
for a
have.
historical
Each,
piece?
each member will be more than welcome to. We'll be more than appreciative and give each member a brick of the building.
All right. And any
Just for BCU alumnus.
Okay.
I had hurt so bad.
All right. We could arrange that.
Excuse
She
me.
wants to.
No, I'm
You want-
teasing.
Excuse me.
Yes, ma'am. We can arrange that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, I'm gonna be nice. I'm not gonna get into that. All right. Did you have any technical questions that you wanted to ask? Yes, ma'am.
You're simply just building up, that's all.
We're going to demolish the back end of it, and we're going to build up. Yes.
Yep, and just to bring those of you who weren't here for the last meeting up to date, that's what was determined, that they're going to demolish what's in the back part and add a 4-story building behind that. They're going to tie into what's already there to keep this integrity of the building and also to keep the integrity of the look of the campus. And we were asked to come and give a special meeting to go ahead and accept the site plan for the purpose of expediting the construction. Because, you know, when you're dealing with the government, there's certain time frames, as we know, for money, okay? Otherwise, you lose it. And that's the purpose of this meeting, to review the site plan and to go ahead and approve or disapprove if you choose not to approve it. Okay? Yes, sir, Mr. Williams.
Just curiosity's sake. Now, the front of the building, you're going to preserve that.
Right.
Are you going upwards on the front of the building as well?
No.
Or just the
Just the new construction part.
And I do have a question. Sorry for being late. I just left my other job. Are you all going to do any refurbishing to the front part?
Yes.
Inside those buildings?
Yes, we are. Everything within the building will be brought up to state-of-the-art technology.
Yes, okay,
Yes.
because I know what the building look like in the
Yes.
inside now. Okay.
All right. I'll entertain a motion. Dr. Jameson, I'm sorry.
Damn you.
Chairman, I move that action item DEV 2013-064 site plan Harrison Road Memorial be accepted.
It has been properly moved and seconded that action item DEV 2013-064 site plan Harrison Rose Memorial be accepted. Are you ready for the question?
Question.
All those in favor, let it be known by the sign aye.
Aye.
And opposed, like sign. The ayes have it. The motion passes. You're free to go.
Thank you. And I just like to say on behalf of Bethune-Cookman and our president, Dr. Jackson, we appreciate all that you have done in the convening of this special meeting to help us move this project forward. Thank you.
And I'd just like to apologize for my tardiness. I was also coming from work and had to go home and get presentable. So,
Oh, that's all
Just
right.
make sure we get a
Thank you.
clean brick.
I will,
Now,
guaranteed.
Miss Grooms, if you could include in there that it was a rattler that made the.
that's why she wants 2 bricks.
All right.
You should have a choice.
Are there any public comments? Well, the only people from the public are the two that are here. So, but he's technically on the board. Board comments.
Board comments.
We'll begin with Mr. Williams. Did you have any comment?
No, sir.
All right.
I just think this will be a great project to see the revitalization of Cookman and redoing some of the buildings and keeping the original structure. I saw Reed, I was helping my brother-in-law with the cafeteria, so they've done a lot of upgrades for Cookman, and I'm glad that they are doing some
Yeah.
things there.
Mr. McGee,
I'm sorry, I wasn't.
any comments?
About,
No, just in general.
no, it's just fine.
Okay. Mrs. Hurd?
We're growing.
That's right.
Thank you.
Now, before I give my comments, I'll ask Mr. Bryan if he would make mention of the new slips that we have now that will make, so that when people speak, we'll have record of who spoke without Ms. Grooms having to.
Look at these people.
And I will come to you, Ms. Williams.
Oh, this is not good.
Thank you all.
Okay, thank you.
Board, this is, and I'll pass one around for everyone to see. This is the, what the chairman has been asking for, request for public participation, a request to speak. This is what I got basically from the city clerk's office. I put the Midtown logo on it to reflect. We didn't have any color paper, so I thought we'd do a Midtown logo. So this is what we'll be using in future meetings. It has a 2-minute limit down on the bottom. That's been requested by the board. So I thought, since we had a short meeting today, I thought I'd introduce this new piece of paper for you all. So.
All right. I thank you, sir. Mr. Berger, any comment?
We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Attorney Gross? And Mr. Shanks?
Yes, sir.
Thank you for being here, sir.
This was probably one of the only days in the last 2 months I could have been here. I've spent some time resting. I was in the hospital 3 times.
Oh, no.
About for the flu since I left y'all last.
Wow.
Summertime.
Back Thursday after I met with y'all, I thought I was going to join a better organization. I was hoping I was going to join, but I didn't see the white lights, but I was hoping they would turn on them damn red lights on that.
All right. Mr. Williams, you had a comment.
Yes. We began a new neighborhood watch in this area, in the Midtown area, the chair, and we'll be having our kickoff on September 9th at 6 o'clock. And we'd love to see you all there, as many of you that can come out and enjoy some good food and some good information, and hopefully we can garner much support for the community.
Where is it?
It'll be local at the Dickinson Center. Dickinson Center.
Okay.
So 6 o'clock, September 9th.
All right. All right, and my only comments are I thank everyone for being out and coming out to make this happen. I thank the work of the staff. I know it's been difficult, but I appreciate you expediting the process. And I still say we got the best secretary around.
She's on it.
Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to ask that our female be careful in our area. We did have an assault this past week. The lady was assaulted. She actually sustained injury, was taken to the hospital, and she was raped also. So I ask you to be careful when you're out, especially at night, and make sure that if you are, that you try to have someone with you to protect you, because we are having a lot of issues with crime in our area. So I just want to make sure that you're aware of it.
Okay. That just further goes with what we discussed at the last meeting. I hate to beat a horse that we've almost killed, but when you've got all the sexual predators moved into the Midtown area, you're liable to see a lot more of that happening. And we need to not only have our adult ladies paying attention, but also our young adult ladies and our children, because it's really bad. It's really bad. We've got to make an effort ourselves to go against and be proactive with things like this. Mr. Williams, that neighborhood watch is much needed. Yes, sir.
What do you mean all the sexual predators being moved into Midtown?
Based on the law that is now in place in the city of Daytona Beach, the majority of sexual predators will be living in the Midtown area. That 2,500-foot law moved them to the Midtown area because that's the only place that they can live with that meets that criteria of that law.
Therefore,
They put one of my little mini parks down there, it's 25 feet away, 2,500 feet away.
that's
right.
Oh,
And
25 feet.
2,500 feet. They have to be 2,500 feet from churches, schools, parks,
So,
and daycares.
so you're saying that the Butts Park, 2,500 feet, would that take you over to Shady Place?
No,
That's too much?
2,500 feet is roughly a
Half a
little
mile.
less than half a mile.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's half. That would be
Oh, Butts.
included.
Okay,
But
Butts Church, yeah.
no, not the church. Park on Bellevue, and we're looking at Shady Place.
Mm-hmm.
Is that within 2,500 feet?
Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, you know, we really need to have the police department or whomever to check people there. We have quite a few daycare centers there. I don't know whether they are registered with the city or what, but people are keeping young kids, children, in that area. And I do know that we have quite a few sexual predators in that area.
And don't get me wrong, we're not saying that the law didn't need to be looked at. But when it was looked at, what happened is a lot of the sexual predators were over on the beach side.
And they push.
And that brought them from the beach side onto the mainland. And that's what made a big difference. Yes, sir.
I was just going to say, this 2,500 foot and some of these other things, what I'd like to do, it might be helpful for all of us to know, well, what does that leave us in terms of area where someone could actually locate?
Yeah.
I mean, I know I would like to see
Right.
a map or something if that shows those different, uses that you have to be so far from, and see what that leaves us. So let's see if we can't accomplish that between now and our next meeting.
Okay.
I would like to say thumbs up to the article that was in the newspaper this morning on the Bayberry area. That was very interesting, and they removed sexual predators out of their area by building a park.
That's what Mr. Shanks
But
talking about.
Right.
That's
That's
my
what I
thing with it, all the vacant property they're trying to get rid of. Probably, the 40-foot wide, but you can't build anything on, that are 100 feet deep. Make a hell of a bocce ball court. If you put a bocce ball court, 2 picnic tables,
it's a park.
2 game tables there, you got a park. And probably, the way I suggested was even suggesting that a bank or someone in the neighborhood buy the right to name it, First Southern Bank Park. And let them pay for the bank.
That is. That's a great
You've been
idea.
giving us ideas. Look at
And
that.
Rezone.
what would need
Rezone
to
it.
be, Attorney Gross, could you kind of look into that for us and what could be done in that regard?
Sure.
As far as the legal aspect of it? Because that's a good idea.
If they, I don't know what year this act came out, concerning the sexual predators. Let's say that they were released from jail, whatever, back in 1990, before this law came out. Does that still apply to them?
Oh,
I'm not sufficiently familiar with the.
I think they could live 500 feet from a park before this was enacted.
Okay.
The restriction was expanded real big. That's what everybody was happy about in
Right.
some areas. But it's
Because the
five
state
times what it was.
requirement is 1,000 feet.
I'm just going to have to look at the ordinance.
Okay, appreciate it.
That's
But-
what it is, 1,000 feet.
But the issue becomes again if we're actually concerned about the problem, not just about the problem, whether or not the problem's in my backyard, the issue is going to rear its head someplace else. And so now the question is, which these laws were enacted, and absolutely they're needed. But you've got to think down the road. Okay, you can't kill them. You can't imprison them forever. So what actually are you going to do with them? And there's so many sexual predators. I know you all watch the news just like I do. And there's so many sexual predators that they're becoming a huge percentage of the population. So what are you going to do with 6, 7, 8, 9% of your population? Maybe get to like 10 or 12% of your population. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? At some point, you got to deal with where they're going to go, not just move them away from me. Because if I might move them away from me over here on this side, but the laws push them right over to Auntie Ruby's across the other side of town, just like they pushed them from Beachside this way.
I was just gonna say, I agree. You have several of them that's not even registered, that you don't even know are predators. So you're right, you have to come up with a different plan on how do we address the situation besides just moving them. We have to have a backup plan.
Because there is a difference between sexual predators and sexual offenders.
Yeah.
And certain ones don't have to register.
Right.
So that makes a difference also. But those are things that we really have to look at, especially in the Midtown area,
Right.
to really effect a change that will be advantageous on through the years.
Right.
I'm kind of like that the way I am about the homeless situation. The thing that we have to realize is that the only shelter in Volusia County is here in Daytona. And they only have so many beds. So then, when those beds are full, what are we supposed to do? Tell them you just got to leave altogether. Those are the things that are hard issues that we really have to look at. Because if you think about it, it just takes one stroke of a pen for many of us to be homeless. So it's not necessarily somebody else's problem. The chickens have come home to roost now. And we need to really look into some things that are some concrete solutions to these situations. I'm not saying that we can make all the difference in Daytona Beach, but we can do something for Midtown area that can be a meaningful solution to help in situations like that.
I think this brings added importance to the plan that Reed was talking about, the importance of getting it done.
Yeah.
And I would like to go back. Is there anything we can do, we keep talking about this, to get some vegetation and some easing of the visual aspect of our part of ISB. Because if you go over on Beachside, they've got little spots of green right out there in the middle of a state highway, and I don't see why we can't have it.
Well,
If we don't ask, and the sidewalk issue is still a problem with me.
Department of Transportation is the problem.
We're getting much closer to having a solution, a visual maps of what we might be able to do on ISB. So we've been working on that in terms of some improvements, so we can bring a concept back to everybody and show them because we agree. And there needs to be a way to green that up, and if we're going to do it downtown on the beach side, we're going to be looking at Midtown.
City.
That's right. So we get it all done all the way through.
Yes, sir.
You know, I'm a city planner. First thing I'll do if I was presenting a plan or to be open to anybody would lower the lanes on I-3 down to 4 lanes and 2 parking lanes. And the parking lanes be in this, make the sidewalks about 15 feet wide. You don't need a median, you don't need it. You need to have wide stuff. Now next, the big traffic jams that we have, they last about 15 minutes. They don't last 30 minutes at race day. But, you know, you don't know what traffic jam. The people on I-4 know a traffic jam. But that's only 2 lanes. That's not 6. And the another thing is, you know, nobody is going to stop and shop at 45 miles an hour. I mean, they don't even see what you got in your window. You know, I've ridden up and down ISB for 4 years now, for 5 years I've been here. And I never knew there was Ruby Tuesday on that, you know. I'll get my Garmin out, I don't find these places. At 45 miles an hour, I start looking, I get killed.
Yep.
But you don't need it. Downtown, down on the beach side, that needs to be a 2-lane street with a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit. Why in the hell would you speed through, excuse my French, speed through the most scenic place in this, our area? You know, nobody can slow down. I mean, you slow down out there on Saturday night, and you got a whistle blowing from the guy I haven't seen all week. He's out there on Saturday night directing traffic through there trying to get up to 50 miles an hour. And with no left turn. I'm sorry, I have just enough traffic engineering to be dangerous. I'm a city planner now. I already corrected this guy's site plan because right behind that building, they got a 2-tier parking lot. Basically, run this little driveway that they're connected to all the way through. They put 2 lanes on each side and double that parking lot. But he said that's in the future sometime. I hope I gave him an idea, because about all you can do is put 2 more lanes of parking.
But that's how International used to be, but I'm not going to bother that.
Yes, I want to ask Mr. Burgess about the International East Side, where they're planning to maybe soon, or how soon, build a business there, a building or whatever. Right across International Bridge to your right. Will they be building there soon, or you all will be going out trying to get someone to come in to expand International over there across the river, or what?
Yeah, that's the intent, is to put a request for proposals back out there and try to attract some of the land. We've got a couple more pieces of land that we're trying to complete an assembly of that.
Now, that's the city, right?
That is the city. That is correct. We own some of that acreage right now, but we're trying to pick up a few more parcels before we put this RFP out sometime, hopefully this fall.
I just brought that up because you know me.
Yeah.
I don't want you to forget about Midtown. because I'm tired of, I have a car there, we all have cars, vehicles, boom, 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 turning, avoiding, whatever.
Right.
And I'm still saying for International and MLK, the shop there that, what you call it? That have the wooden fence up is terrible. What's the name of it? Kitchen appliances, restaurant appliances. It's still terrible. And I don't know what it takes for the city to tell them you're out of compliance. We're trying to make things better. And that's the same thing about Johnson Service Station. They came here, asked us about a new shed, aluminum shed and everything. They didn't ask us to keep that old one up, but it's still up.
Charles
It's still
and I
up.
were out there today. We're going to readdress that with the code enforcement folks as to why it's still there, number one. So there's that. The next thing we can do is go back and address the restaurant supply building and let you know if there's anything out of compliance with that building under our current code.
And I brought up before about the, not beauty salons, but the hair stores.
That's competition.
No. I'm talking about the windows. I'm talking about 90% of the windows are covered, and nothing is being done. That's all over the city. So if it's within the code, it's fine.
Drive down Atlantic.
I don't have the gas.
You can't see in a window down through there. All those stores.
Now, y'all, just a second, point of order we were here to discuss Harrison Road.
Well, we have 50 more minutes.
No, we don't, we through. The rest of it, all of that can be addressed in the regular meeting.
I was going to say.
Do I have a motion for adjournment? Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we adjourn this meeting.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Meeting adjourned.
We'll get back.